y'all, it's me, Alex. Today I have a little video that's kind of like a cruelty-free 101 type of video. I have a whole bunch of notes on my phone, so if you catch me looking at it, that's what I am doing. I'm still kind of working things out with my new lights. Let me know what you think. I'm still kind of working on how to get that done. Let's see. I'm kind of doing this just like as a general, this is what you need to know. I'm not doing this to try to convert anybody one way or the other. I was a little hesitant to do this video at first because I know that I could get a lot of crap from both sides from doing this, from like the not cruelty-free people who are like, well, if you're only going cruelty-free on makeup, imagine how many other things in your life are tested on animals. And also from like the people on the cruelty-free side who might argue that I'm not doing it right either. And both sides kind of frustrating. I'm just giving you a general, like, what the general consensus is in the community from what I can tell of like what qualifies as cruelty-free. I'm gonna include like some dupes. Not all of them I've tested myself, but I've read up on a lot of different blogs as to what might be some dupes for non-cruelty-free products. Some brands that you might not know are cruelty-free, some brands that might try to make you think that they're cruelty-free but they're really not, and a whole bunch of stuff like that. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so first I want to give the basis on like regulations and stuff. There aren't really any like real government regulations as to what is specified as cruelty-free and what is not. So if you're just looking for products when you're out shopping, there are two logos you can look for: the PETA logo, which I'll put right here, and the Leaping Bunny logo, which I'll put right there. The Leaping Bunny logo, they're usually a bit better at keeping up with their list, and if any brand's gone that was previously cruelty-free and now is not. So I usually like to look that a little bit more than the PETA logo, but both are really good if you're just looking at that. You can't just look on a product and if it says this product is not tested on animals, that means absolutely nothing. Because while you have to go through a process to get certified by PETA or a Leaping Bunny, anybody can put that on their product, and that can mean a lot of things, which I'm going to get into in a second. For me, there are a few big things that you need to go through in order to really be considered cruelty-free. First of all, your company itself should not test on animals. The finished product itself should not be tested on animals. You should make sure that the ingredient suppliers do not test on animals. Crap, I have notes. There's no selling of like where required by law. A lot of companies will give that clause on there, which probably means that they sell in countries like China, where imported beauty products are required by law to be tested on animals, if that makes any sense, because it doesn't to me why you would do that. Like, to me, good company ethics kind of trumps money, in my opinion. But apparently not everybody agrees with that. And also that your company doesn't commission any third-party testing. If you can't find any like of the logos on the products, you can also check on a couple of websites that I like to look. There's something in my mouth. I'm so sorry, I just ate a bag of popcorn. There are a couple sites that I really like to look on that I'll link down below. Fira, Logical Harmony, and My Beauty Bunny, and all of them have a whole bunch of really comprehensive lists of brands that are cruelty-free, are not cruelty-free, gray area, where they've like checked with a brand and the brand has given them some kind of fuzzy information there, and pending brands that they've looked into just kind of haven't received a response from them yet, things like that. And you'll find that more often than not, there's so many cruelty-free brands out there. So yeah. Okay, another thing I wanted to address is parent company testing. I've gotten a few questions on that. A lot of these things that I'm going to be talking about today are stuff that's been requested by some of my friends to kind of just like answer a few questions. A lot of times companies, for example, like NYX, Urban Decay, I'm trying to think of others. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, but I know those are like two of the main ones that people argue against because their parent company tests on animals. Both of those are owned by L'Oreal, and L'Oreal tests on animals, which sucks. And those companies were previously not owned by them, but were bought by them. I personally still consider those companies to be cruelty-free on their own, even though their parent company isn't, because I think when you're spending your money on a company itself that doesn't test on animals, you're telling the big company, the umbrella company, that you would rather be spending your money on that than any of their other products. And I think there's a lot of power in what you buy, especially when you're trying to be an ethical consumer. I think where your product comes from and stuff like that is very important to be an ethical consumer. And I've gotten the question that's like, how do like companies themselves deal with like their parent company testing on animals? And to be quite honest, I can't find a really ethical explanation of it. I mean, I would just kind of say that like if they had the choice to like fail as a company or be bought out, if they were bought out and they're able to keep their original company ethics of not testing on animals, then I think that, you know, being bought out but still keeping their ethics would be better than just like not existing as a company at all. And that's honestly the best answer I can give. Now I'm just gonna name off a bunch of like popular cruelty-free brands that you might not have known were cruelty-free or might have known, but like I think when you look at like a big gigantic list of them, you realize that there's a lot more out there. Let's see. Elf, Wet n Wild, Physicians Formula, Hard Candy, LA Colors, Milani, NYX, Orly, Jordana, City Color, Profusion, The Body Shop, Lush, Shea Moisture, Queen Helene, Yes 2, Burt's Bees, Pacifica, Tom's of Maine, Too Faced, Urban Decay, Formula X, Kat Von D, Tarte, The Balm, Anastasia Beverly Hills, Kate Somerville, Murad, Ben Nye, Smashbox, NARS, Bare Minerals, ColourPop, and Strobe Cosmetics. And that's not like even close to how many companies there are out there, but I know that like just naming off of that, there are so many familiar brands that people talk about that are cruelty-free, and it just kind of never comes up. So I think it's really cool to see that like you have a lot of options as far as like drugstore and high-end and like indie brands. Indie brands are a really good way to go if you really want something that's cruelty-free and especially vegan. Yeah, those are usually a better way to go, especially if it's sold on like Etsy or through an independent website. That's a really good way to guarantee that the makeup and skincare and whatever it is you're buying are cruelty-free. Also, I just learned this, but the Target brand Method, that does a lot of their like dish liquids, laundry detergent, stuff like that. That's a cruelty-free housekeeping brand. I guess that's what it's called. House cleaning, cleaning supplies, whatever. That's a really good brand for that if you're looking for something cruelty-free there. And also a lot of that stuff's really easy to DIY as well. I'm thinking starting next semester after I finish out my gigantic thing of laundry detergent. Seriously, every single fall semester, my dad buys me this thing about like this big filled with laundry detergent. I think I'm gonna start DIYing mine just to make it a bit more natural and cruelty-free and all that. There are also a few beauty boxes that are cruelty-free. The two main ones that I know about are Pettivore and Vegan Cuts. I have a friend who gets Ipsy, and I think you can tailor that to make it like so that you only get certain brands. However, I'm not entirely sure about that, so that's why I'm not getting Ipsy or anything like that. I really want to subscribe to Pettivore because I see a lot of people on YouTube doing unboxings of those, and I think that would be a really cool one to do. Also, I've got a few questions about like cruelty-free brushes that aren't necessarily synthetic. I'm just going to give you the information that I found out on that. I'm not good at brushes, so I'm just going to do what I can. Let's see. Well, first of all, I will say that companies can still be cruelty-free without being vegan, like Burt's Bees. As an example, they are cruelty-free, however, they still use beeswax. which is an animal ingredient, and Sonia Kashuk, which is a cruelty-free brand, sells both natural and synthetic hair bristles. Most companies that carry cruelty-free products and carry natural brushes say that it's just like giving the animals a haircut, which honestly I don't think there's really any way to verify that other than like taking the company's word at it. So I think that just kind of depends on how much you trust a company. So honestly, when you read stuff like that, that's something that you have to make the individual choice to believe or not to believe. I'm kind of trying to stay on the safe side and only really get synthetic hair brushes. And a few of the synthetic brush brands that I know of are Eco Tools, Sigma, and Delium Tools. It starts with a B, but it's pronounced Delium. Okay, so I'm gonna give a few cruelty-free dupes. I haven't quite tested all of them, but for the ones I have tried, I might not have necessarily tried out the not cruelty-free kind, but I can confirm that the cruelty-free one is really good. I know the NYX Pore Filler, which I love, is a dupe for the Benefit Professional. Sorry, I'm a little sick. The Kat Von D ink or tattoo liner in Trooper is apparently a dupe for the Stila Stay All Day liner. I love Kat Von D's ink liner. I can confirm that that's amazing. I know the NYX Prismatic Shadow in Girl Talk is a dupe for Stila's Kitten eyeshadow. I have tried, well, I have the NYX one up there. It's really good. I love it as like an inner corner type one. Apparently the Wet n Wild Color Icon eyeshadow single in Brulee is a dupe for the MAC eyeshadow in also Brulee. I don't own the Wet n Wild one or the MAC one, but from the blogs I've read, that is a dupe. And also, let's see, the e.l.f. Studio Makeup Mist Inset is supposed to be a dupe for the MAC Fix Plus, which I've tried neither of those, but again, from what I've read. And also for the MAC Blue Brown Pigment, you know, the infamous one that's like the teal shade with the blue, with the brown shift to it. There are a lot of dupes for that. I know one of the shades in the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette is a dupe for that. You also have Lounge by Urban Decay. There's one from, sorry, I have to look. I forgot to write that down. I thought I planned this video really well and then I forgot to write stuff down. In Monsters Among Us from Strobe Cosmetics. I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch that for y'all. Holy crap, I should not have put that much on my finger. But that's a good dupe for the MAC Blue Brown Pigment. And also apparently Ardency in Peacock is a dupe for that as well. I'm getting this everywhere. Further proof that Strobe Cosmetics eyeshadows are super pigmented. I'm getting this everywhere, yay! Cruelty-free. And that's all I have for dupes. So I'm just gonna answer like one little question that I know I get from like the non-cruelty-free side of YouTube, which again, like you know, for me, this is all about personal choice. You can choose to do this, you can choose to not do that, and I'm not going to judge you either way because, like, I don't think that, like, going cruelty-free is a necessity for being a decent human being. However, if it's something that you want to do, I would highly encourage you to do it. A lot of people will ask me, like, well, if you're cruelty-free on makeup, why aren't you cruelty-free on this, or why, like, will you still buy from company? Like, don't you know that a lot of your clothes are made in sweatshops? Or why aren't you vegan or vegetarian? I am vegetarian, by the way. And a lot of other questions, or like, why do you still take medicine when you know medicine's tested on animals? And I have a lot of different feelings about that. First of all, I think that the cruelty-free movement as a whole, like any sort of, like, progressive-ish, I don't even know if I really want to call it like a political progressive type movement. It's something just kind of a personal choice thing. But I think that being cruelty-free and doing stuff like this is something that should be accessible, and like, I know when I go home, it's hard for even me to find cruelty-free makeup just because I live in such a small town that we just don't have a huge variety of stuff we can get. Like, I can get Wet n Wild, Melania, and Physicians Formula when I go home, and those are the only cruelty-free brands in like easily accessible to me. And so I think a lot of it, why some people might go cruelty-free but not necessarily vegetarian, or might still buy clothes from like fast fashion brands or stuff like that, is all a matter of accessibility and what you can afford to do. I am personally vegetarian. I can't go vegan at the moment just because I'm a college student, I'm on a budget, and going vegan would require a lot more time than I have to cook for myself. I would love to try it, but it's just not really possible for me right now, and I know a lot of people aren't able to do like things like that because of health issues, and people aren't able to like buy like ethically produced clothes because of their budget and things like that. So I think that's a major reason why like one might go cruelty-free but not necessarily be ethical in every single aspect of their lives. I mean, like, that's really difficult to do anyway, because there's something, like, no matter what you do, there's probably going to be something wrong with it anyway. And I'm personally just trying to do the best I can. And also for, like, why I won't buy makeup that's tested on animals, but, like, I'll get medicine that is. It's, like, they've developed plenty of ways to test makeup on things that aren't animals and still make it safe for humans. Whereas medicine, I feel, is a lot more important in this world than makeup, and a lot of times, especially if your doctor prescribed it to you, you should probably take it. Whereas makeup is a lot less of a necessity than getting medicine to, like, get your overall wellness all good. I am amazing with words. But you get what I'm trying to say, and I know a lot of people will also argue, like, you're not making that much of a difference if it's, like, just you that's doing it. And to that, I would say, I'm glad there aren't that many people like you around, because if that was a reason for choosing to not do something good, then we would have a lot of, like, really selfish people in the world, you know? Like, I realize that me as an individual isn't going to, like, stop animals from being tested on or stop bad things from happening in the world, but that doesn't mean that I don't care about things. I care about things a lot. If you know me, you realize how much I care. I get into so much trouble because I care so much. And like, and the thing is, when you're doing something like this, like going cruelty-free or vegetarian or anything like that, it's not just you. Even though you're one person, you're not the only person doing this, and when you choose to make a decision like this, you're just adding on to the number of people that are making those kind of decisions, and I think that's really, really cool when we're all able to get together and do something like this. Alright, y'all, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I think I was, like, pretty coherent. I think this is a pretty long video. I apologize. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments. I really hope I haven't offended anyone with this video. I tried to articulate everything as well as I possibly can. Again, I hope that this, like, will help people to just kind of know what it is they're buying, but if you choose not to go cruelty-free, that's cool too. You're not a bad person for doing that. I feel like a lot of people in the cruelty-free community would say that you're a bad person, but I don't know. I just kind of wanted to educate everybody on kind of why I do it and things like that. And if you have any questions, let me know. I know I've said that already. I'm rambling a lot, even though I had notes. Yeah, anyway, I will see you on my next video. I hope you'll have a wonderful day. Bye! Hey y'all, it's me, Alex. Today I'm going to show y'all how I did this look. It's inspired by Halsey.